with the radio show, but we're already live on the live stream. So let's get it. Let's get it. Where my theme music at? There it is. There it is. Whoa. Fight like a winner. You don't know nothing about that. You don't know nothing about that. You don't know nothing about that.
No, not. I'm gonna have to get up on it though.
Yeah. What it do, what the business is. This is Reverend Drake coming to you live from the Freethinkers Radio Studios, man. We got a nice one for you today, man. But want to encourage you, get your lady friends on the line, get your man friend on the line as well, so we can come together and talk about women helping women. I think this should be a pretty interesting topic because, so often we have the crab in the bucket mentality when it comes to helping one another. And one of the most difficult things to do sometimes is to get a woman to help another woman. Sometimes it appears that we can't get along sometimes because we're too catty. It's my agenda, it's my thing, and I can't help you with your thing, but I want to break this open and establish that in this day and time, the day of the one-man show is over. We got to come together, and we got to permit each other to be built up in the things of God and the God assignment. Also, if you need to get at me, if you're trying to, we're updating my website as well, man. We got a couple of speaking engagements coming up. They're pretty hot. Want to share with you guys. And also, if you want to reach out to us, you can reach me at www.iamjustsayingdre.com. www.iamjustsayingdre.com for speaking. If you want to purchase our books, written to books as well. Crippled, but I've got a right to be here. And can't go back, can't stay here. What's up over there? All right, we getting ready to get live in our show. I got a guest I'm going to let my guest introduce herself to you guys, and we'll just begin to mark this show. Today's show title is Women Helping Women. I used the theme scripture for today will be found in Luke chapter 1, verse number 41. But let's go ahead and meet my guest today. My guest today in the studio with me is the Mrs. Who are you, lady? Tell them who you are.
I am Taisha Noel Brown.
Taisha.
Also known as Taisha Nicole.
Taisha.
Yes.
Okay. What you got going on? What is your business? What is your backdrop? What do you do? What are your offering as we talk about this particular subject, women helping women?
I actually own a hair salon.
You actually own a hair salon?
I do.
So you get in there and get hair done, but I didn't know that. You want to shout out your hair salon
yes,
too? Yes,
Salon Eclipse on the campus of Benedict College.
Okay, well, that's what's up.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a Benedict College graduate of 2006.
Okay. I mean, can you do anything with this right here?
I sure can. They are making man weaves, yeah. And we can
devil is a liar. And the devil is a liar. Okay. Well, what you got coming up, though, you also, in your natural field, you do hair, but in your spiritual field, you do hearts. What you got coming up here?
I also am a recording artist as well. So
I know
sing,
that.
Yes, I sing as well.
Okay.
So I do that as far as what you can say heart songs. I do have a CD coming up that I'm going to be doing, and that will actually be dealing with heart songs.
What do you mean heart songs?
That will be one of the songs on the EP.
Okay. Yeah. So what do you mean, though, heart songs?
Dealing with what and I always tell people this and they laugh at me, but I have kids, so.
Okay.
But to me, a heart song is I can use equivalent to Happy Feet.
Okay.
Whatever is in your heart, and my son does it all the time. He walks around and sings, "Open the eyes of my heart, Lord."
Okay.
Just anything that's on your heart at that present time, something that you're going through.
Okay, so
whatever you're going through.
August 5th, I'm getting married. I'm walking down that
Congratulations.
aisle. Yeah, that's what they do. What the business is. And if you were to sing a heart song, let me describe my fiance. She's a woman of God. She is a lady. And I used to say, I've said a couple of times that I'm scared of the opportunity. It's not scared. I'm so humbled that God would give me another chance. You know what I'm saying? So what would be a song? Let's do this to you right on the spot.
I don't know.
What would be a song that would come to your spirit that, as Elisa and I maybe exchanging vows and we've secured the heart of the union. What would be a song that you think you would just sing, just tribute to her right now? Yeah, did he
Oh,
just
right.
do that right
He
now?
did.
Now,
Oh, wait a minute.
Hold up. You thought you was going to get a free advertisement but wasn't going to advertise? You better give me some, girl. You better give me some. What would you
wow.
sing? What would you say if you knew our backdrop, you knew our heart toward her and the awesomeness of the assignment that I embrace in covering her, what would be a song? Like you did the Happy Feet thing. You know,
Happy. I'm not
what's
really
the song of
good
the
at
heart?
impromptu on
Well,
the spot,
that's
but
what-
I think that I would probably sing, and I don't know all the words to the song, but
just give me some of it.
the I open up my heart, the Yolanda Adams song.
Yolanda Adams.
Yes.
Okay, that's clean right there.
Right.
That's clean.
Yeah.
I'm
I don't know all the words.
No, but
I
I get that. I get that.
Yeah, yeah. I can't remember
Hold
all the
on, hold on.
words.
You coming back? I ain't letting you off just yet. Let me see. If I know which one she's coming into, so I ain't gonna even drop that one.
You're not gonna drop that?
No,
Okay.
I ain't gonna drop that one.
You're not gonna make it easy for me.
No. But I'm saying that if we were getting ready to go and pour the sand, do the unity sand thing, you know what I'm saying? What would be a song that do you think would be appropriate in that slot? What do you think? I am really giving you the business right
You
now.
are.
It's cool though, but I'm actually.
See, I'm churchy. I've been draw me nearer,
Come on.
nearer, precious Lord, to the place where thou
Ooh.
hast died.
Yeah. Okay, that's clean. That's clean. Okay, that's cool. I did.
Draw us closer, Lord.
That's it. You know what I'm saying?
Bring us
and
in.
And them sand
put us
crystals
together
when
as
they
one.
going in. Yeah, when them sand crystals going in, the thing I like about the sand
Is they
covenant,
mix together.
What you saying? And you would take forever to separate them.
Right, and you
got to
can't.
go through.
It's
some
impossible.
work.
It ain't no
it's too
forever. You
many of 'em.
can't.
Yeah, you'd be in there forever trying to separate. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's that bond. Okay, y'all don't mean. Okay, I get it. So your conference that's coming up though. Tell me about this conference that you got coming up.
Yes, the Makeover Women's Conference actually is a conference that I kind of put it together when I was actually a member of Glory Temple Worship Center, Pastor John Lakin.
Okay.
And
Wow.
Sally Lakin, and
Okay.
I was there, and in 2005, God gave it to me, and at that point, I presented it, but I know that in that point, I probably wasn't ready.
Okay, timing.
Exactly.
It generally happens that God generally gives us a vision, gives us a dream, gives us a baby. I call it a spiritual baby. And we think, the first time I wrote my book, Crippled, But I've Got a Right to Be Here, I got to chapter 9. I let somebody read it. They hit a button and wiped the whole thing out.
Oh, wow.
Never could find it, never could, but it wasn't time.
Right.
Because when it was time to write it, I wrote it in 13 days.
Wow.
21 days. I wrote it in 21 days. I worked in the school system.
Okay.
During the summer months, I act like I was going to work. I would get up, go to the gym, work out, come home, take a shower, and write for 8 hours. And it took them longer to edit it than it did for me to write it because I wouldn't let them change the context of it. So,
Right.
so I get what you're saying as far as thinking it's ready at one time.
Exactly.
It gives it to me.
Oh no, and I thought it when I say I thought it was ready,
That's
it's
real
simply
talk.
because I had my topics, my seminar topics. I had who I wanted to speak. I had the scriptures to go with it. I mean, when I say it was probably about a 3 to 5 page layout.
That's what's up.
I had it write the vision, make it plain. I had wrote the vision out,
And that was like 2005?
That was in 2005.
But that
and I
bad
let
boy
it sit.
did not come to
No,
fruition
and I didn't,
until-
and I just let it sit, and I let it sit. And last year, 2016, I don't exactly recall why I was, it was pressed upon me to go ahead and do it, but what came to me and what God said to me was basically give birth or abort. And I was like, whoa.
Oh, that's deep. That's deep.
Like-
You didn't write my preface. You didn't read my preface that I had
I
for the
didn't.
show.
No, I didn't.
The preface I actually did for this show was it's time to connect with people to make your baby leap and disconnect from those that spiritually abort.
And that's what came to me.
Wow.
Seriously.
Wow.
And it was like, well, I don't, and what I honestly can say is what I've noticed in church, and people say it's too deep sometimes, but I've been in church sometimes and God has given me a song to sing. And I'm like, no, I don't want to sing, or I don't want to sing like I'm trying to be seen or whatever. And God will give it to somebody else, and somebody will cross the way and start singing the same song that God gave me. And I was like, I don't want that to happen to the vision that He gave me, where He gave me a vision
That's
and
what's
then I didn't do what I was supposed to do.
Or at
and
least
he
make
give it
the
to
effort.
somebody else.
Because
Exactly.
if he's giving you the vision, he's the pro in the vision. He will
Exactly.
make sure the vision comes to fruition. This conference, when is it that you're having? What's the purpose of it? What's the name of it again, please?
It is the Makeover Women's Conference, it is going on this Friday and Saturday, July 21st through 22nd.
Okay.
And every night is going to be at 7 p.m., but we will be having seminars Saturday morning from 8 to 2. We'll be having seminars, and we'll have seminar speakers. We'll have what we call like a power hour. And
where is it? Where's the event being held?
The event is going to be held at, I can never remember. It's so many names to this church.
Okay.
Like, it's so many names. The church is, I think it's Victory.
Wait a minute, and that's not anything. Allow me to tell y'all now. That's not anything to do with her.
No, it's not.
And any preparation, because when I looked at the name, it is Faith, Hope, and Charity, Deliverance Ministries. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's QRSTUV. Faith, Hope, and Charity Deliverance Ministries. And that's on 7330 Monticello Road.
Exactly.
Okay, and the time is 7 o'clock
7
opening
p.m.
night, Friday night.
Yes.
And then you have conferences or workshops
seminars
during the day. During the day.
Exactly.
Okay. What are some of the topics that you're going to cover?
Well, Friday night, Bishop Q Davis will be opening up that Friday night with Speak Life. It as well. Okay. And she'll be coming from 2 Kings 4:26.
Okay. It shall be well. I get it.
Yes. And one of the other topics is I Say, God Says.
Okay. I want to know about some of these other presenters that's not the headliners just yet, but the ones that you were just telling me off air, like what's her name, Thais?
Yes, Thais Washington.
And she's doing one on
mental health.
Now, see,
yes,
well, I got a question. How are you going to have women spiritual topics and then discuss mental health? Because somehow the church thinks they don't go together.
No, and that was one of the things. Even I think that was something that I got last year.
Okay.
Was we're afraid to ask for help. Okay. Because we go to church and we think we're just supposed to pray about it all the time.
Come on now.
And two, because we're black and we think that we're not supposed to go and ask and lay on a couch and see a shrink. And, that's just like saying, I'm sick, but I don't want to go to the doctor.
Right. I'm not going to the doctor.
Or I'm not going to the doctor because I'm supposed to pray. I'm supposed to pray. I'm going to pray it out.
Right. Now, you're saying something.
So that was why I wanted to incorporate that piece, because as women, we do go through mental challenges. We go through certain things. We go through so much. And I was just expressing that to a sister today. Like, we got to be a wife. We got to be a mother. We got to work, come home and deal with our own personal issues. And it's like, I got to put myself in a position to do all of this, but, I neglect myself.
Wow.
And
in Jesus' name.
In Jesus' name.
Go figure.
Yeah, I got to be at the church and I got to do this. So it's so many different things. And sometimes that can cause us to have
a nervous breakdown.
Right, exactly. Nervous breakdown.
Or a mental collapse. You know what I'm saying? When your mind just says, no, thank you. I'm tired.
Exactly. Shut down.
Yeah, that's real talk. That's real talk.
So that's why I thought that piece would definitely.
That was hot. That was hot. But you had a couple of other speakers too, though.
We have Kawan Fitch.
Okay.
She will be dealing with the topic of hands on, hands off, and it will be dealing with domestic violence.
Okay.
And the different aspects of domestic violence, because it can be mental. Exactly. It can be not only physical, but it can be mental. It can actually be spiritual domestic violence.
Absolutely.
I mean, definitely.
Killing people in
Jesus' name.
And then saying
exactly. And
you
Jesus
submit.
said it.
Yeah, and that's what he said, but it's out of context.
Exactly.
He said you don't lord over them, you lead them. They sheep. You don't beat them. You lead them.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay, that's
so
good.
So we'll be dealing with that.
Okay.
Lucretia Stanton will be coming. She actually did a documentary here recently about her brother who was killed, and they could not find him for, I think, probably about maybe a year.
Mercy.
And finding out later that the guy who killed him was helping them to look for him. Like, he had no clue what was going on. So he was basically missing for a year, and they actually found him later on. So that's something that she is, she's an advocate for, and so she deals with that.
Okay, so what is the angle of that? What is her angle in that? I'm hearing what you're saying, but I think that's pretty deep, that she would be, dealing with that subject, almost like lost and found.
Exactly.
Type deal. Okay.
That topic to me can have so many different angles. Something that was told to me is, like, not only when you're losing somebody, as far as them just being missing or taken, just, of course, just death in general, and then also even just losing people out of your life, because sometimes you go through mourning when you're losing people, when people drop off or maybe their season is up,
Wow.
it's a that you go
For
through
sure.
mourning. You definitely go
For
through
sure.
mourning. Yeah.
For sure. Those of you that are tuning in on the Facebook Live, go ahead and share this. This is very, very good. We're talking about women helping women. I'm going to give you a context in the text in a minute. But tell me what Shalise is doing.
Shalise Ravenel, she will be speaking on the being barren and also on child loss, miscarriaging, miscarriaging.
Okay.
And there is actually, that's a tough topic sometimes for people, especially when certain couples have been married for a long period of time and they're not able to have babies. And so that's something that she actually was, that she went through. And so we decided to add that
deep.
on.
That's deep. And the others, just briefly tell me the others so we can go into the context of...
Okay.
Yeah.
Shavetta is doing I Say, God Says. And that's the battle, the mental battle versus what I want versus what God wants and what he says, what I say.
Word.
Kept Woman, Which One Are You? That is going to be brought to us by Kiama Brown. That I actually looked up.
Kept woman or kept woman?
Or,
see, that's
kept woman or kept woman. Which one are you?
There's a dichotomy. Are you kept by God or you kept by... Yeah. It's that's the sanctified version for side chick.
Yeah, that's
that's exactly what that is.
Because they always say, "Oh, I'm a kept woman." I'm like, don't now I'm looking at it like, don't say that. Or if you say that, right? If you say that, make sure God kept my mind. He kept me from going crazy. Be specific, because if you Google kept woman, it's not a good thing. We just need to figure out which one we are.
Yeah, I did. Go ahead.
The other topic is he yours? And that will be dealing with the late woman at the well. And Yonita Simmons will be bringing that topic and speaking about that.
She better come correct with that one. You know what I'm saying?
I think she was really, I would say, excited, but she was just like, oh my gosh, the crazy thing is, like, ever since you gave me my topic, she was like, God has really been dealing with me in that particular area.
Is it yours?
Right, is it yours?
Is it yours?
And that can go, again, whichever kind of way, because we dealing with the woman at the well.
Is it yours or did you borrow them? You know what I'm saying? did you steal them and say God gave it to you? You know what I'm saying? Or is the Lord yours? Do you know him?
Do you know him? Because she was at the well, she didn't know who she was in front of. She didn't know who she was.
Who you talking to. If you known, you would ask.
You would ask me for a drink.
I mean, I'm just saying though.
You thirsty?
I just think that thing. See that. No, that's the flow.
But that can go both ways too.
That's
Are
the
you
representation
thirsty?
of the thirsty woman.
Right.
Everybody always call dudes thirsty.
Yeah, no.
But
she was thirsty.
Yeah.
Both ways.
Yeah, well, you do what you do. She needed some water and she needed some water.
Yes, she did.
But the thing about it though, everybody often demonize her. She was a bad girl though. She reminded me maybe of a J-Lo or Elizabeth Taylor or somebody because I mean, she was married 5 times. You think about it. She had an asset. She was a beast somewhere. Yeah, the cooking or she had a skill set, something that made the next man say, "I don't mind being the next Elizabeth Taylor." Mr. Elizabeth Taylor. I don't mind being next. Oh, we demonized her, but they saw something in her, but they couldn't feel her thirst.
Exactly.
Hello. And then she come to the 6th man. You remember it was 5. One looked good, smelled good, felt good, taste good, sound good. Hello?
Hello.
And the 6th man, 6 is the number of the flesh. She just said, I ain't even marrying you. I'm just going to kick it with you. But then the 7th man showed up.
Because I'm thirsty.
But then the 7th man showed up.
Right. The right man.
The perfect. Come see a man. Oh, man, you don't know about that right there. Okay.
The right one.
What? So let's go into a little bit of delve. You can probably point out your keynotes in a minute. But I want to delve into this conversation as it relates to getting around women that make your baby leap. First of all, what is some of the conflicts, even in the church or out of the church? You work in the beauty salon, they know that for all the news. If you want to know the day's news, go to a barbershop or a beauty salon.
I really can say, and this is not to bash anybody who does, I can genuinely say that I don't encounter that in my salon. I never have.
That's what's up.
And
you got a different spirit,
thank you, Lord.
though. That's a different spirit.
Because we can talk about whatever, but it's never been a gossip session anything like that. And I can definitely.
What is the conflict that we have with African American women? I'm not saying specifically just to us, but we talk.
Yeah.
And your conference, is to focus on giving a makeover. But what is the conflict with the woman-on-woman relationship? What are some things that you've run into, even in doing this, preparing to do it?
I want my own.
Yeah.
I want to do it myself. I don't want to work with you because either I feel like my idea might be better.
Okay.
I think that, or I guess maybe just intimidation.
Okay.
Maybe might be one of the things that women.
After you just said you own your own business, you are a recording artist, you are married, you are, as an entrepreneur, a woman of God, and now you have your own conference. You're doing your own women's conference. So, yeah.
No, well, but that's why even with it's not mine, and I think that's where I'm at with it. With everything that I do, I don't really necessarily take it on as mine.
Got it.
If anybody is working with me, or they're working beside me, or they're helping me, I always tell them this is not just my event. It's just not my salon. It's just not mine. Okay. This is ours because we are working together. We're a team.
But you happen to be the point person.
Right. I just happen to be the one that came out with the idea,
you're
visionary.
The point person. So you're the point person. God gave it to you. What are some of the frustrations that you've had, or did you have when trying to work with other sisters? What are some of the frustrations?
I think finding maybe stability, or I don't know if that's necessarily the word, but consistency is the word. Because I'll have people go in real hard at the beginning, and then somewhere midpoint time, because again, it's not my event, or it's not my thing, or it's not me.
That's what's up.
Then I kind of fall off somewhere between helping you and you actually getting the task done.
Well, you heard that before we did the show, and I talked to you earlier today. I asked you, because it was very important to me, if I'm going to use the avenue or the cycle or the venue that God has given me to push another ministry. I know, Dave knew you. I did some of my own, research and what have you. But I did ask you, and I think it's very important for people to know you're not a renegade.
Right.
Well, who's your covering? Who is your actual covering?
My pastor and wife are, I do attend the Brook, so Pastor Moultrie, Simeon Moultrie, and Nikki Moultrie are my covering. You
don't have to go any further. I just wanted, you understand the importance of what I just said? Because some people go do things and say, God told me, but they don't answer to nobody. They ain't covered by nobody.
Oh, no.
Even if that's your individual vision and or dream, you have a pastor, you have a first lady, you have that is so crucial.
Well, before I even did the conference last year, I asked my first lady if she would go out to breakfast with me, and I presented the entire thing to her to make sure that I had her support and to make sure that, and she was actually one of my speakers. She closed us out last year.
But you see what I'm saying, though, and I think that is so crucial for this day and time. I was on with Cynthia Hardy last night. Shout out to Cynthia.
Hey.
Love you on point, And we were talking about submit. We were talking about the word submission. And one thing that was really, really frustrating, because I'm trying to explain a covenant word to a carnal person.
Oh, wow.
You check that out? So you're trying to explain.
Can I write that down for my notes?
Yes, you can. You can. No, put it down. But you're trying to explain this covenant. When you talk about submit is not a bad word if you're in covenant. Matter of fact, submit is not a bad word because it's a word of covenant. It's for marriage. You don't submit to your boyfriend if you just kicking it. And this Netflix and chill society think covenant means enslavement or entrapment,
right.
or because now you listen to Beyonce when she was the independent. Oh, I'm a single lady. Oh, the single lady.
Right.
Hands up. I got my own. All that stuff. All
that.
All that. But then that chick said, if you like it, then you should put a ring on it. Then she turned around and told chicks, y'all think I'm going to leave my man because he done cheated on me and stuff. Y'all got to be crazy.
Crazy.
Right. So she done changed the whole song. They forgot one thing was for Charlie Angels. The other thing is for her life, And so you got people stuck in what Beyonce said. Now watch this. They don't want to submit to what is known as God order, but they submit to anything Beyonce or the rest of them say.
Well, And the crazy thing is,
Let's go.
sometimes God's order is sometimes not our will.
Yeah,
It's not what we
absolutely.
want. So if I can do the Beyonce thing because that's more comfortable to
For me, yeah, that's what's
then
up.
that's
Yeah.
what I'll do that because that's not hard.
Right.
I can do that.
You would have been disqualified on the
Right.
show last night if you said something like that.
Oh, I would have. Oh.
No, that was another sister Corny. She did real good. She did good. She held the
Yeah,
ground on understanding that. But you can never get a carnal person to understand a covenant principle, a spiritual principle. And so I just only threw that out because when I asked you about your leader, that was crucial. If you that came up with some Joe Blow and I don't have no, I wouldn't. I don't
I'm
care.
independent.
I don't care what Dave would have said. You wouldn't have been on this one. You know what I'm saying? No, real talk. Because I believe in, and I think that because God's given me this vineyard and because we guard it like that to bring quality and substance. Let's talk about the text. The text that actually that I used was found in Luke chapter 1 around verse 41. But the overall theme was, if before we get to 41, Elizabeth. Zacharias get the word of the Lord from Gabriel, the strong man of God. That's what Gabriel means. He gives a word to Zacharias that Elizabeth, the barren one,
Right.
is going to give birth to something.
Somebody, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Zacharias is like, dude, for real? I heard about Abraham, but we on shutdown over here. So you going to do something with this? And the angel of the Lord said, because you ain't believe. He said, your prayers has been answered, but now you don't believe. We're going to close your mouth. So you're going to have a child, his name going to be called John. You're going to have to write it down and let her know, and we'll let you speak when it comes into fruition. But that same angel goes to Mary. That's one thing that's beautiful about the spirit of grace, the spirit of God, is he don't just give one person a word without giving another person a word.
That confirmation.
That confirmation, watch this, and or assignment. Your assignment is no good. If you carrying, let's say, you're carrying purpose, I'm carrying destiny. Wow. Neither one is no good until they connect with the other. You get it?
Right.
Let's go and use the word. Mary is carrying destiny. Elizabeth is carrying purpose. Right. Both were given by the word of the Lord from Gabriel. But Elizabeth don't know why she carrying what she carrying until destiny shows up. And when she gets to her and she gives her a greeting and Mary greets her and the baby in Elizabeth leaps. It's time for women, it's time for men even, it's time for the body of Christ to connect with people who make your baby leap. Give me
and
some
that's
of
true.
that.
I think that kind of going back to where you were saying how his mouth was shut. Like you have to learn how to shut the mouths of those naysayers and those people who are around you that are saying that this is not possible or that this is not what you're supposed to be doing. Like you have to learn how to shut that all the way down.
But I'm finna go back into something you said, though. I'm finna pick up what you said. I'm finna pick some meat on this bone. You skip right over it. Sometimes you have to know how to shut your mouth.
You right.
Ooh,
your own.
Yeah.
You're right.
God give you something, it ain't time to tell it yet. Shut your mouth. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
and if
yes. I'm so guilty.
Sometimes we premature, watch this, sometimes we premature expose what God is doing, and it gives the enemy time to abort it because you tell the wrong person. You get it? You can go tell somebody, and then ask somebody what they think about what God told you. That's one of the worst things to do if they're not responsible for you. If they don't cover you.
Or if they're that, and the fact that sometimes when we talk to people, everybody is not on that same playing field spiritually with us where they might see what it is that God has for us. And they might see us for what we are now and not what we're going to be. So with that being said, they're talking to me now. They're not talking to the future me.
And they don't even know that the future you is connected to the things you're going through now to get
exactly.
there. And then I said we want people to believe that for us, but it's hard for us to believe that for somebody
ourselves.
Else. It's hard. Can you imagine being Elizabeth and Zach and they old and God saying, I'm going to give you a baby, but your baby is going to be connected to your cousin baby who you're going to get it by natural conception. She's going to get it by immaculate.
Right.
I'm going to just speak the word and make her give birth. Come on now.
So that's right there. That's meat right there too. All I got to do is speak.
Come on now.
Speak life.
You get a word. If you like it, then you should have put a word on it. That's get a word
life,
for that
right.
thing. Speak life. You say, I say, God say. That's one of your seminaries. What does God say? And then what do I say? Because sometimes God can be saying something to me, and I know he said it to me in private, but I won't say it in the open because I don't want to look bad. Your brother shall rise again. Come here, her name was Mary and Martha. Martha. Well, by this time he stinks already. The only reason you tripping now is because the crowd is around. And the Lord had to ask her, what did I tell you? Didn't I tell you in your private devotion that you're gonna see your brother again?
Right.
Don't get in front of the crowd and get brand new because you.
Say, who you gonna believe?
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So right. when we deal with your conference that's coming up and you're dealing with women, helping women, what made you sense to do this? I mean, when I look at your topics, it's probably one of the most holistic approaches I've seen at a women's conference, from mental wealth, mental wellness. You threw out a topic earlier the day before we came on. I thought was fire. What was it? Something about rank. Something.
Oh, don't be stank, don't be rank. That was last. Was last year.
You might need to dust that off. Don't be stank and don't be rank. What did that mean?
Oh Lord.
No, say it.
That topic was basically saying you saying you want a man, you saying you want this, but you have a foul body odor and you got a foul attitude.
Did you say stank and stank?
Stank and stank.
Hold up.
Stank, rank.
Hold up. I say, watch this. Don't be ugly and ugly.
You don't get both?
No, how you gonna be ugly? You don't yeah, and then act ugly.
Wait, you can't be both? You can't.
No.
You don't get both?
Oh, you're gonna be ugly and alone. You know what I'm saying? You can't do both. So now imagine if you ugly and you stink.
You ugly and stink. That's a triple threat.
But why? But how many people have been so damaged? I think this is very powerful, and have been so hurt and have been so damaged till they've turned so ugly, then complain that nobody wants them. Mm-hmm. Yeah, give me some on that.
And I think with that, and that's kind of goes back to what the conference is about. It's called the Makeover Conference. One, I actually have the song is on the website. I made a song called Makeover.
Okay.
And the song is dealing with me transforming my thoughts, transforming my mind, and dealing with me first before I can do anything else. It starts with me first.
Okay.
And so that's pretty much what the gist of the conference is about, is dealing with me, making myself or getting made over from the inside out. And that's another thing that we'll be kind of talking about and bringing light to as far as a conference. And the topic or the overall theme for the conference is I Declare War.
Okay, that's powerful. Let's stop this up a little bit. You're saying a makeover. So many, celebrities, so many people get the makeover, but they get the external makeover.
Inside out.
They're always adding parts. I heard you say the inside out. My post today is, if you're not real with you, if you're not able to come face to face with you,
exactly,
you're not true to you. You're two-faced with you.
Yeah.
Just like a man beholding himself in the mirror, but you ain't real about yourself. And I think a lot of people hide behind something to cover themselves from the reality of who they are. But I've discovered that ministry at its best
is transparency.
It's out of your brokenness. It's out of your mess. You know what I'm saying? Ministry at its that might flow. Ministry at its best is out of your mess. Okay, anyway,
that was another.
Okay.
That was another. Write that one down.
That's what's up. That's what's up. What? Oh, yeah, I wanted to ask you this question, though, because I look at your cadre here of your presenters, and I don't see one man at your women's conference.
I tried.
What do you mean?
I actually did reach out to a minister that I wanted to come and speak, or even do it where he was a part of the seminars, and I kind of video chat him into the seminar. But I wanted him to be a part so we could get a male point of view from
I want
certain
to encourage
aspects.
you
So
from now on.
Make that a
if
point.
you do this, because I remember I did a women's conference when I first came to South Carolina, and I was just talking with a friend of mine, actually from a church, that I sensed to do another one, but I'll wait. I'll wait till the timing of the Lord, and I'll wait till I'm married, to do it. But I did one when I first got here. My boy Vernon Williams, rest in peace. He's going to be with the Lord. But he and I did a women's conference at Savannah Grove in Florence. Over 500 women was in that place, man.
Oh, wow.
and God wrecked that joint. It was called Breathe Again. And I remember brothers saying to me, why would you do a women's conference? Duh, that's why. The fact that you got to ask this question lets me know that you think you don't know that the church is a woman.
Amen.
This is the bride of Christ. You don't know that Christ is the groom. You don't know or haven't come to the reality that many of the pains that women are inflicted with come from us as men. So Bishop Jakes found something when he did the Woman Thou Art Loose conference, right, because he was able to tap into a vein. Now, people got mad and called them all whatever, but he was able to feed and minister to a vein because he paid attention to his daughters, his wife, and the plight of women.
That is a that is a market. Not, I wouldn't necessarily say a market, but it is it's an untapped market if so, because there are so many things that, like I said, that we deal with as women. Mm-hmm. It's like so many levels to us. It's like we have so many different hats, and
then somebody gonna tell you to act like a lady, then think like a man.
Right.
You need to act like a lady and learn how a man thinks. You know what I'm saying? Because learn
how to think, not think like
because
that's right.
You end up trying to be him.
Because I'm the only girl out of 9 boys, so
you know what I'm saying? No, but you can learn how we think.
Exactly. Because but what's crazy? Even with that, even with learning how they think, you still don't know how to think until you get one of your own.
Right.
Because having been married, I can say how my brother would think or how my dad would do things or whatever, but until my husband is totally different than any other man that I've dealt with. So certain things that I have to learn, I have to learn from him.
He's graduated to a place of difference.
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So in that difference, it was said like this, and I used it on one of my previous shows. Women are like spaghetti. Everything is all in there, the sauces, everything, and everything touches everything. And y'all know where everything is. So somehow God has gifted y'all with spaghetti noodleness. You know what I'm saying? You got sauce over here, cheese over here. But it's all touching. Men, we're like waffles. We're compartmentalized. We can put things in certain places and leave them right there. And you start trying to make us do spaghetti, we shut down. So one thing at a time, dear. Let me know what you need, and then I can go through my boxes and check them off. Right. Yeah, don't give me a whole mess of stuff because your mind running 555 miles an hour, and I'm saying, okay.
But that's but that has to be learned.
That has to be taught. Yeah.
That has to be
taught and learned.
That has to
be
good. And sometimes, that's one of the biggest things for the conference as well, because I want to deal with those who are single, those who are married, those who are, just like every aspect of where a woman is, because there are certain things that I did not know getting married that I know now that I'm like, I should have. I wish I had known. I wish somebody had said something. I wish somebody had told me, so that way, when this issue comes up, I know how to deal with it.
But they can't tell you for your scenario because you don't know if it's gonna come. Two becoming one is a miracle. Two becoming one is a meshing. You got two different worlds. You got two different mindsets. You got two different, you got one come from family. You got one come from brokenness. You got one come. So the way we think is out of our own optic. And when you come together, you have to learn how each other see, And so in doing that, that's time, that's process, that's pain, that's frustrating, that's merging, that's meshing, and communication is crucial. You got to be able to talk it out. But what happens when one or the other don't know how to say what's going on?
You have a mess.
Yeah, you better get somewhere and pray. You better have the cover. You better have the interpreter.
You have a mess. But I said that to say, like, and I actually, again, I had a conversation with a young lady actually today, and I was like, it's so crazy how certain things that are learned as in your family, and I'll put it like this, my pastor said it, certain things, traditional things in your family that go on, you don't even know why you do it. You cutting the legs off the turkey, and everybody like, well, why you cut the legs off the turkey? I don't know, my grandma did it. Right. I don't know, her mama did it. I don't know, my great grandma did it. And not knowing that your great grandma cut the legs off the turkey because her pot was too small, and the turkey wouldn't fit in the pot.
Right,
she even, but you
and she didn't throw the meat away.
Right,
she put that in the green.
Right, exactly. That was in the collard greens and the green beans.
You throwing away good meat.
Right, but it's like you don't know until you approach that situation, and you have to deal with it. And just because that's tradition doesn't mean that it's right.
Yeah.
And you can't approach every situation that
Absolutely.
way because that's what you were taught.
Yeah.
And that's something that I learned even in being married. Like, just because this is how I was taught, or this is what I saw,
Right.
or this is how I approach things, or my family approach things, doesn't necessarily mean that it's right. And I can't approach my husband in that way because that makes him shut down. That makes him run away. That makes him not want to be around because I'm approaching him from what I know, not necessarily that I'm
What
doing
he
it
needs.
purposely.
Yeah,
Right.
Not necessarily from what he needs.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and
that's
so
good.
it's
That's good.
that. So those are some of the things that I'm hoping that as time goes on, we can, of course, touch every single issue within these 2 days. However, I think that I would like to help some of the women who are coming to be able to glean some of that stuff, so they can take it and apply it in life application word.
Okay.
So they can take it and say, okay, yeah, I remember they talked about that.
That's what's up.
Let me apply that to what I'm going through now.
How do they register for your event? Because I know you need a head count, and
Yes.
I just want to make sure you got all the supplies that you need.
Well, registration you can get on www.makeoverconference.com, and all of that information is there as far as registration, donation.
What's the fee?
The fee is $35.
Not bad. 2 days.
Yeah,
What does that
35.
entail? Do you have lunch on Saturday?
Yes, we will have lunch on Saturday. It'll be a continental breakfast Saturday morning, and then we'll have lunch on that afternoon, and then after that you will also you'll get a packet. So in your packet you'll get a T-shirt.
Yeah,
you get T-shirts and
get
T-shirts and everything.
No, I've been to the makeover. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to, girl, what's that? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Be able to push that. Now, my other question is to you is why you?
Oh my gosh. I have gone from being a single mother to being married to having one child to having 2 children or 3 children. And it's a lot that has gone on with me. And I just really sometimes, honestly, I say the same thing. Why me?
Yeah.
But I guess I honestly have to say, why not me?
I was going to say, next time you get asked that question.
Why not me?
Next time you get asked that, that's your answer. Why not?
Yeah, why not me?
Yeah, because you didn't choose you to do it. I'm sitting here listening to you.
Yeah,
you
no,
didn't choose you to do this.
No, I mean, literally, like, it was almost like, and they say a download. Like, I couldn't sleep at night. So I was getting, like, all of this stuff downloaded into me. So I would have to literally wake up sometimes 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm writing, writing this plan down that God had given me.
Okay.
And so it's a lot sometimes. I think for me, I again, dealing with the makeover, and I always say it starts with me because there are certain things that I have dealt with. My topic that I'll be speaking on is pray more, speak less.
Talk about that.
That is one of my struggles.
What's one of your struggles? Because I thought she was shy, Dave. I thought she was scared. I'm nervous. But you did say once she gets started, you will not have a problem running. You did say that, and you're walking it. But in that place, what your topic is,
pray more, speak less.
Why is that?
Because I wouldn't necessarily say I
don't clean it up. Don't even clean it up. If you want to get the real at your conference,
the truth,
you be as real as you can.
And I know, and that's one of the things with me. I'm very, very, very transparent. Truth is, you gonna get what you see is what you get from me.
Okay.
And certain things I have to learn not to necessarily speak on or to address. Because I feel like you did something to me.
You do know I'm the same way, right?
You did something to me.
You do know I got the same personality.
Listen,
I got the same.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
sanctify my tongue, Lord. Say
I'm gonna need you to. I don't need you to say. I need you to bridle it at this point. Just shut me up because I'm gonna get you from one side and down the other.
And you do know though the danger of the tongue of a woman is probably more mightier than the fist.
Something else I had to learn.
Yeah. Do you hear me? Because once you speak it, because I'm just giving you a little insight. This is the importance of having a man at your conference next time. I ain't pushing for it, but I'm just saying what I'm saying now. Is you could say something and cut that man so deep.
I've done that. And
skip over it, and the little boy in us won't forget it.
Right.
And then you're like, but baby,
I didn't mean
it. But it was a dagger. Because in every man is a little boy that wants, listen to me, mama to be pleased. Mama Mama. And Mama could get us to do anything when she affirmed us, built us up, corrected us, but left our manhood intact. A woman and her mouth can cut a man so deep. A matter of fact, I had to call a man back today. I was trying to help somebody with something that they had never done before, so I called the man. Me and the man is interacting. I mean, so beautifully. I mean, we're interacting. He was saying, "You're right, sir. This is, I called as a frontliner, an elder, to just look into a matter." And his wife gets on the phone. He gives his wife the phone, or she comes into the periphery, and she talks so slick. And I had to say, "Hold up, I'm calling to talk to your husband." Well, he and I went, "No, ma'am, I would be out of order if I called you in the matter. I called him because he's the man." And she said, "If he keeps talking to you, he can be sleeping on your couch." Now, I hung up the phone, but I thought about it and called that man back and apologized to him for his wife. How would you degrade a man like that in front of a man or to a man that you don't know?
And that's very true. I think a lot of times, and not necessarily in defense, but with women, a lot of times we are in the moment and not necessarily thinking about what's going to happen afterward. Like, because I've had those moments where, it's almost like, and again, this is totally wrong because you're not my child.
That's good.
It's like, you did it right now, I'm going to get you right now. Like, you act up right here, I'm going to get you right here.
That's how we do our children, though.
Right. And it's not right. You don't do your man like that. You don't, I'll get you when we get home. Like, I might give you the...
Okay.
The bug eye. But at the end of the day, I think we deal with in the moment. And we don't, again, think about after the fact and how it actually affect him, because we thinking, well, you did whatever,
It triggered
so
me.
exactly that triggered me to act that way. But I think in going back,
and when
to a
you
lot
hurt,
of things,
you want somebody else to hurt,
and not necessarily I'm hurt and I want you to hurt. It's more or less, and I say for me, not that I want you to hurt. I need you to know how I felt, and I'm gonna tell you how I felt and what you did that hurt me, and this is how I feel about you at this present moment because of what you did.
And so what you think he feel when your neck is moving and your hand is moving when you saying this to him, and what you said, and he say, "Get your hand down," and I put my hand wherever
Right, exactly. But even in all of that, I had to learn that it's not about what you do to me, it's about how I react. And so
that's a process.
And it is a big process. One of the topics last year was respond and not react. And responding with the word of God and not reacting in the flesh.
See, something? Maybe not the proper thing to ask you. This may not be the proper thing. How old are you, may I ask?
I'm 33.
Are you serious? Mm-hmm. The insight. Somebody raised you. You know what I'm saying? The insight, even if it was the brothers or something. I'm talking about this Netflix and chill culture, and you're from it. But you're talking about wholeness in ministry.
And I think, again, it all comes from experience. It all comes from my personal experiences and things that I'm going through and things that I've been through. I made it a point to try to be better.
But you're saying something, though, and you have something to offer. I am glad that we were, able to take this time, to be able to, give another picture to you, to your ministry, to your assignment, because even as a young woman, you're learning. Paul says, "Not as though I've apprehended or already made perfect in these things," But I forget, I press, and I don't forget like it never happened. I just forget because it was all my accomplishments. But in this particular thing, I like when I hate when people try to tell me. Matter of fact, when I heard them say it, it bothered me because they were including me. They used to say, "How can Steve Harvey tell me anything about marriage when he hadn't been successful in marriage, or he'd been married yada times?" That sounds so good intellectually.
It makes sense
intellectually. It makes sense. It makes common sense, but ain't nothing spiritual about that statement at all. Mm-hmm. Because the truth of the matter is, there's a whole lot he could teach you.
What not to do.
What not to do. And even some of the things to do, because the truth of the matter is, because, and I'm very serious about this. This is a personal thing for me, too. Because I hadn't been successful in the area don't mean I can't help you. But because you've been in a thing for a long time don't mean you've been successful.
Exactly.
Hello?
That's very true.
You might have stayed with a person because of image, or the woman might have stayed with you because she lost herself, or you scared them into staying. Or what about you? You know what I'm saying? So that don't mean you've been successful. That just means you've been in it a long time. Don't mean you've been doing it right. So what is the age range of this conference? What is your goal? What type of women do you get to come and share in this?
Honestly, I would say anywhere from the age range of 18 and up. Because we'll be dealing with some topics that, some teenagers
Absolutely.
really can't comprehend at their early age. But I would say 18 and up would be benefit.
Okay, do you offer it at parental discretion? Because you do got some young people that's old.
No, because the way I operate, I don't really operate in parental discretion. Just, I guess for me, whatever we say spiritually, that is in itself in discretion. God operates in order, so it will be in order.
So you're saying 18 years old and up,
right?
Nobody, I can't bring my 17-year-old, I can't bring my 16-year-old.
Well, they will glean from it, but some things, and I'm not saying that they could not come, but I think for me, a lot of things might go over their head because they might not be dealing with that at that present time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the domestic violence piece is important amongst teenagers. I can tell you that.
That's what I say. Some stuff will actually go over their head, but
the workshops on mental wellness, crucial.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Don't be stank or whatever. That was last year.
But see, in that sense, it would be a learning because, like,
right.
You see what I'm saying? Like that would be putting it in place, right? Exactly.
Okay.
Yep,
so
yep,
I wanted to make sure that and what if I can't go? Do you have a place where people can donate to help sponsor somebody?
Yes. There actually have been several people who have donated to to help someone else go, and that is also on the website as well, which is again www.makeoverconference.com. And there is a donate tab, and if they want to donate, they can just put what the donation is for in the note to seller and let me know that this is to donate to help someone else who may not be able to afford to come to be able to come and glean from the conference.
Okay, and your overall hope for this conference is what? What are you hoping to release or manifest from there? Very simply, is makeovers from the inside out. So you can see a new you, like you said earlier. When you look at yourself in the mirror, can you really be honest about who you are, and be real with yourself? Yes. So, one of our viewers, online viewers, Trey Taylor, said,
"Hi, Trey."
Yeah, that's my people, man. She do that relaxed thing. It's okay. Well, I met her with or relaxed, but it's okay to be single. But I think she's still doing that. Some things with Brooklyn Northeast, man, they get down pretty good. Says Dre, if something continues to happen, it's more challenging to be or to continue to be sweet, soft-spoken, and act like it's okay. And she is correct. We have to learn to hold our tongue and respond. Act, not react. So she heard what you said. Thanks for your comment, Trey.
Yeah, and that was actually dealing with when the devil tempted Jesus on the mount. Like, dude,
that's good.
What did he say? He didn't respond by trying to prove who he was. He responded with the word.
That's good. Stolen. I'm just letting you know. I'll rock that. I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna give you no.
It's okay. I don't get no credit. No. It's all good. But the people heard it, so they know where it came from.
Yeah, but they ain't heard it. How we gonna do it? I'll dip it in Dreology.
It wasn't from me anyway. That was from God.
It's clean though. It's clean though. Yeah. Don't. Yeah, don't just act.
Yeah, you can't react.
React. Yeah. Put something in place to hold it. Okay. If there's anything that you want the listeners to know about the conference or know about your business or know about some future plans or anything, you said you are a recording artist as well. Yes. When does your music drop?
I'm actually still working on some things. I did kind of release a snippet of one of the songs that I'm working on now. Is actually called Working. Okay. And it is actually just dealing with moving forward and being able to accomplish certain goals and saying that nothing's stopping me. Until my journey is complete, I will achieve my wildest dreams. I got some work to do.
I'm digging. It's a pleasure. Man, let me tell you something. I did this blind. I did this blind. We're actually closing out. Do you hear the theme music kick right in?
I heard. And you know what? It's so crazy. David knows that I did not like gospel rap, but like now I'm like,
you know, it's a new process. It's just, you know, you got to come to a new level. You know, it is what it is. You know, you're smooth with it. But check us out. As we getting ready to wrap up, man, I thank you for visiting us in the studio, and thank you for giving me a chance to interview you. And I pray that this helps your cause and help what you're doing. Remember, stay focused, stay humble, stay hungry.
Amen.
You know, and guard the anointing. You know, don't get people just to get people. You get people assigned to do the assignment. All right?
Amen.
All right?
I appreciate it. It's an honor. Thank you for having me.
Blessings to you. Thank y'all for tuning in. We're going to stay on the air a little bit on the on Facebook Live. But if you want to get at us, y'all know how to reach us. This is Pastor Dre. I'm just saying Dre, www.IamJUSTSAYINGDRE. I'm just saying Dre.com. I don't know. I said something. Y'all know what I'm saying. So get at me. We love you. David Pendergrass, thank you again. Mastermind, we appreciate you, man. Sister Brown, thank you again for being here. And we look forward to seeing y'all same bat same bat time on the next time we up out of here. Peace. You know, we still on air on the Facebook Live, but trying to see if we have any questions or comments we want to feel before we get out of here.
Not the stimulus, it's the response or lack thereof.
What do you mean? It's not the stimulus.
Just now, she was, y'all must have been talking about something, response or something. She said, it's not the stimulus, it's the response or the lack of response.
Okay, it's not the stimulus. It's not what triggers.
Yeah.
When you talk about stimuli, it's not what
Okay,
triggers.
yeah. So,
But it's the response or the lack thereof that causes what? That was kind of incomplete. Who sent that?
Thais Washington, yeah.
Okay. Thais,
That's one of my
give
speakers.
me some more. It's not the stimulus, but the response or the lack thereof. Give me a little bit on that, Thais. Thais, wait a minute. Thais is the therapist, though.
No, she's actually,
Or was she the one dealing with mental,
yes, yes.
mental health?
She's on the one that's going to be talking on that topic.
Right. I'm trying to see if she responds. Okay. Let's see what else we got on here. It was a pretty good show. It was a pretty smooth flow, too. You did very good. I really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. It's a pleasure.
You know, I was once a radio host as well at one point, and you know, in
that
Junction,
right?
I had my own radio show last summer.
Is that right? What happened with that?
Life, and I
You doing
couldn't
too
do.
much?
I had to shut it down. Yeah, it was
Okay.
too much going on for me. So.
Okay.
So I know a little bit, but you taught me because your flow is like amazing. Like I might have to sit up under you and learn a little bit.
Watch this though. Now, what a compliment. But before I get up off here, before I get up off here, Cynthia taught me.
I'm about to tell you, but Cynthia.
She's amazing.
Cynthia Hardy taught me, and even when it came to me getting the show, you know, I love the fact that my interviewing techniques got better. You know, because people would say I would overtalk, you know, my guests sometime, and I just get excited. So I had to learn to pause.
But you know, it's so crazy. Is sometimes the guests honestly appreciate you over talking because that means I don't have to think too much.
Right.
I don't have to. Right.
Because I'm looking at you.
and then I can actually pull from what you're saying.
You are absolutely correct because I'm looking at you and I'm going, okay, blank stare. You know, it's happened a couple of times with Dion. You know, Dion, my boy Dion, didn't have a couple of times, man, we didn't hit something and he went. So I had to jump back in, you know, to, finish it off. But I'm really, proud of what you're doing. I'm actually proud of the God maturity in you. And I want to encourage you in what you're doing, and if we can, assist you in any way. One of my assignments is, and I really believe this, I'm not necessarily the king, but I'm a king maker. I help establish and pull and identify people in the body that are doing things that, they wouldn't otherwise get the venue because, they ain't in the in crowd.
Right, exactly.
Give me those people and we will tear something up. You know what I'm saying? Give me those people and then we'll do something. I was trying to see if she replied back with anything. It doesn't look like it. She might have went off the air. We had a pretty good turnout tonight.
There were no questions. People were just replying.
They'll just, sanctify my tongue, Lord. Somebody said, help me. Somebody said, now listen.
That's tangent.
We talking about
But
that
it's so
tongue.
crazy because pretty much everybody on here I know. But people know me, know like It's a lot. I have had to dial back.
This is a brother, Elijah Bradford, Purpose Driven. He said, "I love to hear this dude." You know what it encouraged me, because you don't never know who's listening to you. You don't never
Right.
know. One daughter, Tamika, said before she left out, somebody in Mississippi followed me. You know, because of the show I did with her, man. You never know. I ministered the other day and used a brother in the church that I guess, you know, we may not have normally would have used, but end up getting invited to minister in New York.
Okay.
You know, because you pull, you know, I think God is up to something very serious in this season. So
He is, and I think it's not just meant for me to have this in Columbia. I actually was talking to my best friend, and she was like, I was like, I might want to bring it to Florida. She was like, yeah, I think we should do that, you know.
As long as you got a contact person
Right.
there.
Well, she has her covering there, her pastor's wife,
Okay.
and then her pastor's wife is close with the people who were on, or one of the speakers from last year, one of my very first speakers. So that kind of ties in. So we were talking about doing it there. And
I think we, as a generation, I think part of our responsibility is even in the, you know, in the tradition of the traditional church, I think we need to show the church how to do kingdom work. So
I think it's all about transparency, though.
Yeah, but everybody can't do that, because sometimes we get blinded by our titles and our positions, and we become what we do. So when we're not doing what we become, we aren't. We don't know who we are. And so you notice I might say it, Pastor Dre or something like that, but everybody know me as Dre.
Right.
I'm cool with that. Everybody know